Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. I'm very excited for this series. So this is going to be a new series which I wanted to do for a very long time. So this in this this is I'm going to explain some new concepts or theme in chess. So this is called a Greek gift, which is mainly used for the king attack. So this is a famous and very basic um, beginner concept that everyone should know. So let's see how it goes. So the concept here is sacrificing the bishop, your light squared bishop on the h7 square diagonal, and it needs to be it needs to be assisted by the knight and your queen. So these are the three main pieces which contributes to the king side, to the Greek's gift. Okay, and the sacrifice starts in the h7 square. So let's see how it is going to start. You sacrifice your light squared bishop on h7. The king has to accept the gift. Okay, even if the king doesn't accept the gift, it is still called a Greek gift with these three square combinations. So mainly the king is going to accept because moving outside his own pawn protection could be lethal for the king. So he has to accept it and go back to inside his protected pawn structure. So now you attack the king. So the king goes back. Now this is the main square. So now you bring your another piece, which is the queen, to attack this square. So now we have two options to go here. The computer shows this is not the best move, the queen move. You can also bring your queen here to attack the square. Anyway, the outcome is same. The queen has to sacrifice itself to complete this position. Okay, so let's move on to the next position following the same theme. Sacrifice on the h7 square. Now now our knight is on the h3 square, and our queen will always be in the same diagonal. But now, as you see, uh, there is a pawn which is in front of our knight. Okay, so bringing our knight has no value because that cannot be used. So we need to save, as the gift has not been accepted. Let us try to defend this knight and defend this bishop and continue our attack. So let's move our queen to h5 square. We are continuing in attack. Okay, so here the queen has to sacrifice itself. There's no other piece near the king to protect it, so the queen has to sacrifice itself for the king. So let's accept the sacrifice and continue our attack. Okay, now our queen has been attacked. So the advantage in this position is our queen is aligned with the king, which is blocked by our bishop. So what we can do here is we can try to do a discovery attack. Okay, or can we accept this? Thinking of two options here. Let's calculate this. Bringing our knight. This will allow. See, bringing our knight is not a forcing move. It is not a check or a capture. So the opponent will have a breathing space. So if we bring our knight here, the knight, his knight can come into the game. So we don't want that. So let's do a discovery attack. Okay. So okay, we lost our queen. That was a blunder from my end. So bringing back discovery is of no use. hmm So I think bringing the knight is the best move. So taking the king. So now you see this is being attacked. So let's bring bishop back. Now the the knight is trying to protect it. It is a temporary protection. Check and checkmate. Okay. So as you see the previous position, we can use multiple pieces. A pawn. We also had a rook in the background to protect. So let's start the Greek sacrifice in the third position. Sacrifice. King accepts it. So now we don't have a knight, but we need to capture. We need to attack the king. So look at forcing moves. So check, captures, and threat. So we have a check here. So let's do a check. So now what is our option? We don't have a knight. So we have two rooks and the bishop. So in this position, in this video, I'm showing you to, I'm offering a sacrifice and then I'm showing you how to defend. But in a normal game, you don't do that way. You calculate all the sacrifice exchanges, checks and captures, and then you give a sacrifice. Okay. If you are confident in 4-5 moves ahead, and if you think you have a winning position, I think you can straight away go ahead for a sacrifice. So coming back to this position, we have two rooks and the bishops here. So this is one vital square we can do a check. But this is protected by the queen. Bringing back a rook and bringing a rook front and trying to do a battery is not going to help. This will take a long time. So let's look for a capture. And this capture will deflect this queen. So bishop captures bishop on e. Yes, so this is the good move, best move here. So now what? Queen attacks. Now our concept of sacrificing the bishop, or exchanging the bishop was to remove the defender. So let's give a check. So king has to move. This is his only move. So this square has been blocked. So the king cannot escape. Even if the rook tries to attack us, we can try to do. We have opened this file, so we can bring another piece. We can bring any one of these two rooks. So just calculate the variation. So if we bring a rook here, we can bring a rook here and bring this square is defended. Okay, so if we bring a rook here, I think the knight can come in and protect the square. If we bring a rook here, the queen can still go and protect this. Now this is also safe. Bringing a rook here. Yeah, so I think this is a good move. Bringing a rook here. Does the opponent has any defense? Yes, the queen can move here and defend this square, right? So these both squares are defended. So let's look at the third variation. Bringing a rook and blocking this queen from here. Yes. So this square cannot be defended. Yeah, he can defend it with his pawn, but this will attack his queen. So moving his queen would be the right option for him. So just move a rook. So the opponent gives a check. So what are the variations we have? I don't think we can go front because we'll have a lot of check. If we block this, we have an option to block it, but yeah, we can block it, but our attack would fail, right? So we can't do that. So here what we have to do is, let's calculate bringing the king back to h1 square. So if we move our king back, He has no other checks. If he has check, he can come here and he would lose his queen and can block with this battery here. So I think bringing the king back to the safe h1 square is the right move. Yes, so that was the right move. So now we have the next position. So just following the theme of Greek sacrifice, exchange, capture. Now this square is blocked by our own piece. So we don't have any checks here. So we have to sacrifice this pawn to continue our attack. So nice in this position is pushing this pawn creates a check and a forcing move for the opponents to react. So let's push this pawn, check. Okay. Now we don't have any check other than our knight. So we can just straight away go ahead with our knight and start the check. Okay, the queen has sacrificed itself again. So let's accept the queen here. So now how do we try to checkmate the opponent king? So bringing a rook to this diagonal is an option. Yes, so this, as I showed you in the last position, this square is protected by a bishop. So even if the bishop tries to attack, we can capture it. Right? So queen can also join the party, but bringing the rook would be right first. So let's move our rook first. Yeah, that's the right move. And then we can bring a queen. Okay. So this we have won. Okay. So the next position. So here the opponent bishop is attacking a queen, but let's attack the king with the Greek sacrifice. Capture, follow it up with a check. And now we need to bring another piece. Bringing this rook would take long. This and bringing to the square can be stopped. Bringing this rook to the square, the opponent can move his rook and try to find an escape square. So this is a weak point here. So we can move this queen, but he's going to push his pawn and stop the checkmate. Any this this is a nice concept, but we are one move ahead. Sorry, one move back. Now let's look for sacrifice. So when you try to attack the king after checks, let's look for sacrifices. So sacrifice here. King has to take. He has no other option. Then we can check the king again. The king has to move back. And then we can bring a rook. So let's calculate, do this, check. Okay, he's not accepting the gift. So then we have a check here. He has to check it. Do we have any other check? No. If we do a check, he can capture our bishop. Bringing back our queen is under attack, so we can't. We have to move our queen. We can't take it with the queen, so let's take it with the bishop. So yes, that is the move. Okay, so this final position is all about defending from your opponent's Greek sacrifice. So we should also know how to defend if your opponent is going to sacrifice. So here in this position, I'm going to do a complete analysis before accepting the gift. So let's first accept the gift. So if we take this bishop on h7, he's going to check our king here. Let's move back to the safe square. He is going to bring back his queen and try to do a checkmate here. So to we don't have an escape square out for this king, right? So this, if we push this, we cannot escape because this queen would be blocking this f7 square. So we need to bring some of our pieces to protect this h7 square. Luckily, in this position, we have not one but two knights who can come to f6 and protect this h7 square. So even though this pawn is attacking the f6 square, we have two knights which can attack it. So let's accept this gift. Yes, right. So let's calculate before sacrificing our pieces. You should not sacrifice any of your pieces or pawn without a strong calculation here. So we can bring two knights here. I don't mind sacrificing any one of them. So let's sacrifice this knight. Okay, yes, he has accepted it. So let's, yeah, he has sacrificed his one bishop. We have sacrificed our knight to defend this position. If your opponent is sacrificing and trying to start an attack, don't hesitate to also sacrifice your pieces to defend your king. So that's it. So this is a Greek sacrifice save. So how to save your king from the opponent's Greek sacrifice. This should can be done only with immense calculation. So be ready to calculate nearly 5 to 7 moves ahead before you accept a sacrifice. I hope you like this video. My subscribers know this is a new format. I would really appreciate your comments and feedbacks and likes and shares for this video. In case if I would definitely do another game in this series. So just look forward for it. Have a nice day, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye.